Hi, everyone. This is Coach Miller again. Friday Fruits, week 7, I believe. We're in tonight's our third night of spring football, and that's been a blast watching the kids get out there and run around. It's hard for me to kind of imagine the energy that gets provided out there, and I look at how our guys kind of how they get after it out there, and it makes me kind of want to live life like that every day. Is that type of energy with that type of enthusiasm and just the camaraderie that they have, just everything that's going on, is that it really has kind of convicted me to really look at my own life and am I living life like that? Is it good stuff? Is it, well, it's kind of like spring's kind of arrived, this new season kind of starting up. We're getting out of the winter season. Is that you look at the trees right now and the buds are starting to grow on the trees. Is that you see some geese starting to fly, and I'm sure there's some that are nesting right now. Is that the grass I know at my house is that I need to cut it already, and that begins a labor of love, I guess, is what it ends up being. And then it just is starting to get nicer out. Today I'm driving in, and I looked up into the sky, and I did not see one cloud. It was just completely blue, and you kind of see the glory of God in nature there a little bit. And that's kind of where I'm going to go today a little bit. Is that I read a quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson, and he says, "The happiest person on earth is the one who learns from nature the lessons of worship." So I think about that, is that the happiest person are those that learn from the nature how to worship God, and I think about that, and maybe that's a reminder all of us to get outside and enjoy what the outdoors kind of has to offer a little bit. But then I also read a interesting deal, and I read it on the internet, so it's got to be true, correct? Is that anything you read on the internet is true? But it said something about is that you can trap a bee in a mason jar, and you don't need to put a top on it because bees don't see above their level of their eyes. They just see straight ahead, so they'll just keep buzzing around, and that just doesn't make sense to me. I'd think eventually they would fly out of the top of the deal, but they're navel gazers. Is that they're looking at themselves or just from their point of view, and so they never have that chance to kind of leave the jar. And I think about this is that we had about 10 years ago, my family made a trip to Colorado, and on the way out there, my wife decided that we were going to learn Psalm 121, 1 and 2, and it says, "I lift my eyes to the hills, and where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth." And I think about that, is that I lift my eyes to the hills, is that let's don't keep our eyes vertical. And I've kind of talked about that a little bit before, about where we focusing in our eyes, but let's keep them vertical. Is that we serve a big God. And I think about that at the end, is that the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. I was thinking today, I have a hard time driving a stick man. Is that for me to make the stick man even proportional is hard for me to do. And I look at God and his creativeness and how he made the trees, he made the lakes, he made the rivers, he made the fish, he made the birds, he made the people. Is that in his mind how he's able to just he's a Michelangelo every day, is that he hits it out of the park. And so I just want to remind us all that where we kind of focus on ourselves, and let's keep our eyes on the hills. And so just here's 3 quick thoughts for you as I kind of wrap up this week. Be energetic like our players. Is that, and I don't care what you got going on at your job, is that if it's bad, you make it better. Is that make wherever you're going a little bit better place. And then take a walk. Just go outside a little bit and just listen to what you hear. It might be a heavy freeway where there's a lot of cars. You might hear some birds, but what are you hearing and what are you seeing? Just enjoy God's creativeness and what he's kind of made, and then keep your eyes vertical. Don't keep them horizontal. Is that you just might break out of that mason jar. You might have the freedom that you never knew that you had before. Great to be a Royal.